The lost and confused, Bass said. Spirits who never found their way to the Hall of Judgment. Why are they so sad? I asked. Well, they're dead, Carter speculated. No, it's more than that, I said. It's like they're expecting someone. Ra, Bass said. For eons, Ra's glorious sunboat would travel this route each night, fighting off the forces of Apophis. She looked around nervously as if remembering old ambushes. It was dangerous. Every night a fight for existence. But as he passed, Ra would bring sunlight and warmth to the Duat, and these lost spirits would rejoice, remembering the world of the living. But that's a legend, Carter said. The earth revolves around the sun. The sun never actually descends under the earth. Have you learned nothing of Egypt? Bast asked. Conflicting stories can be equally true. The sun is a ball of fire in space, yes, but it's the image you see as it comes across the sky, the life-giving warmth and light that it brings to the earth. That was the embodiment of Ra. The sun was his throne, his source of power, his very spirit. But now Ra has returned into the heavens. He sleeps, and the sun is just the sun. Ra's boat no longer travels on its cycle through the Duat. He no longer likes the dark, and the dead feel his absence most keenly. Indeed, Bloodstained Blade said, though he didn't sound really upset about it. Legend says that the world will end when the Ra gets too tired to continue living in his weakened state. Apophis will swallow the sun, darkness will reign, chaos will overcome Ma'at, and the serpent will reign forever. Part of me thought this was absurd. The planets would not simply stop spinning. The sun would never cease to rise. On the other hand, here I was riding a boat through the land of the dead, with a demon and a god. If Apophis was real too, I didn't fancy meeting him. And to be honest, I felt guilty. If the story that Thoth had told me was true, Isis had caused Ra to retreat into the heavens with that secret name business, which meant, in a ridiculous, maddening way, the end of the world would be my fault. Bloody typical. I wanted to punch myself to get even with Isis, but I suspected it would hurt. Ra should wake up and smell the shalab, I said. He should come back. Bast laughed without humor. And the world should be young again, Sadie. I wish it could be so. Khufu grunted and gestured ahead. He gave the captain back the wheel and ran out of the wheelhouse and down the stairs. The baboon is right, said Bloodstained Blade. You should get to the prow. A challenge will be coming soon. What sort of challenge? I asked. It's hard to tell, Bloodstained Blade had said, and I thought I detected smug satisfaction in his voice. I wish you luck, Lady Kane. Why me? I grumbled. Bast, Carter, and I stood on the prow of the boat, watching the river appear out of the darkness. Below the boat's painted eyes, they glowed faintly in the dark, sweeping beams of light across the red water. Khufu had climbed to the top of the gangplank, which stood straight up when retracted, and cupped his hands over his eyes like a sailor in a crow's nest. But all that vigilance didn't do much good. In the dark and the mist, our visibility was nil. Massive rocks, broken pillars, and crumbling statues of pharaohs loomed out of nowhere, and Bloodstained Blade yanked the wheel to avoid them, forcing us to grab hold of the rails. Occasionally we'd see slimy lines cutting through the surface of the water, like tentacles, or the backs of submerged creatures. I really didn't want to know. Mortal souls are always challenged, Bess told me. You must prove your worth to enter the land of the dead. Like it's such a big treat? I'm not sure how long I stared into the darkness, but after a good while a reddish smudge appeared in the distance, as if the sky were becoming brighter. Is that my imagination or our destination? Bass said. Strange, we really should have been challenged by now.